Good day everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to a new review. Well, for today we have something a bit different. We have the Zidoo X10 and this is basically an Android TV box but with a few added features. So the first interesting feature is the fact that we have a SATA 3 connection and a slot for a hard drive. So this device can take hard drives up to 8 terabytes. Aside from that, we have an active fan on the back, and that means that the fan can speed up or slow down depending on what the device needs. But if you don't like the fan, you can actually turn it off. So this is quite expensive. This costs around 220, 230 US dollars, so quite expensive, but I believe that we get a lot of value for that money. So for specs, we have the Realtek 1295 CPU. This is a quad-core CPU. We also have 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of internal storage, and the device is running Android 6. Let's start with a very quick unboxing. So the X10 comes in a rather large box. On one side we're going to see a picture of the device and on the other side we're going to see the X10, and turning the box to the side we're going to see some of the specs of the device. Inside we're going to find the TV box itself. We're also going to find the user manual. The user manual is in English and it's got a whole bunch of instructions. We also have a couple of cables. One of them is a HDMI cable, the power adapter, and lastly the remote control. Aside from having that remote control that comes in the box, you can actually install an Android app on your smartphone and control the TV box right from your smartphone. Unfortunately, this is not available for iOS, so you're gonna need an Android device in order to use that. It's fairly easy to use. First of all, you're gonna scan a QR code on the screen and then you just install the app and then you can just control the TV box right from your smartphone. So this is by far the biggest Android TV box that I've seen, and this looks and feels very premium. So first of all, it's made out of metal entirely. So the sides, the top, the bottom, everything it's made out of metal. But yeah, this is definitely expensive. So first of all, on the front we have a display. This display can show you the clock, can show you how much time you have left on your movie, can show you if you have a hard drive inside, if you're connected to the Wi-Fi, and so on. On the right hand side you're gonna find 3 USB ports, and one of those it's actually a USB 3. And moving to the back of the device, you're gonna find the port for the power adapter. We also have an HDMI out, an HDMI in, the fan, the AV out, optical audio, a slot for an SD card, the power adapter port, and lastly an on-off button. You've probably noticed that we have an HDMI in on the back of this device, and that's something a bit different than most Android TV boxes available on the market. So let's say that you have a DVD player or you have a camcorder or basically anything that has an HDMI out. Well, you can plug that HDMI cable right in the back of this one. This has the ability of seeing picture in picture, so if you want to see what's happening on the other device while you're doing something on this one, that's possible. But this can also record anything that's happening on the other device. So let's say you have a game starting at 4 p.m. but you're not gonna be home at 4 p.m. Well, you can set this TV box to start recording the stream from the other device at 4 p.m. or whatever hour you want. And it's that simple. And of course you can choose where you'd like to save that footage, and that's why you have a hard drive inside this, because some streams are very big. So of course if you want to record something for 5 hours, it's not gonna be enough to record on a little SD card, but you can record that on the hard drive that you'd have inside this. And since we are talking about storage, this device can take an SD card up to 32 gigs, and that SD card can also be installed as internal storage because we have Android 6 running on this. Aside from that, out of the 16 gigs that comes with this device, we have about 11 left, and the speeds that I got for the internal storage are decent, but not the absolute best that I've seen. And you can see there that I actually have connected a hard drive to the device, so I have a hard drive sitting inside this. I've also tried a few video files that had DTS sound and Dolby Digital sound, and I'm very happy to say that they work without any issues, but of course, considering the price of this device, I wasn't expecting anything less. The X10 also supports dual band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, and of course I checked the Bluetooth connectivity by playing a game with the Bluetooth controller. Now as for the Wi-Fi speeds, well, they weren't the absolute best even though we have 2 external Wi-Fi antennas. So I've seen the speeds on the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi bands better for other devices, so I'm not sure if it was the time when I was doing the test or what, but the speeds weren't that impressive. The X10 also supports Miracast, and of course Miracast it's related to the Wi-Fi connectivity, and I had to mirror my phone screen to see how it works. So I was able to mirror my S8 Plus's screen without any issues. I was able to watch pictures and even watch a video that I filmed on my device. So Miracast works without any issues on the X10. For performance, we get decent scores on the Antutu Benchmark, the Geekbench 4 and the iStorm Extreme. However, these are not the highest scores that I've seen. So I've seen the Logic S912 with better scores on many occasions. So we get decent scores, but not the absolute best. For those of you that are interested, the X10 doesn't come with root access from the factory, and based on the digital rights management information that we get, we are not going to be able to watch Netflix in HD, but keep in mind that that's the case with pretty much all TV boxes from China. Moving to online streaming apps, so of course the first app that I tried was the YouTube app, and this is the official YouTube app that you can download from the Google Play Store. So I was able to watch any videos at 1080p at 60 frames per second, and all the videos that I tried watching seemed to work without any issues. I've also tried Showbox and Modbro, and like any other online streaming apps, they do work very well, but keep in mind that you can watch those even on a $30 TV box, so those will work good on pretty much anything. And moving on to Kodi, so this comes pre-installed with Kodi 16.1, however this is not actually called Kodi, it's called something else. Well, it doesn't come with any add-ons pre-installed, but that's not a bad thing, that's a pretty good thing because we don't really need all those useless add-ons. But leaving that aside, you can actually install Kodi 17.1 right from the Google Play Store, so you can have both installed on the device, and it's very simple to do so. And this way you're going to get updates for Kodi 17.1 whenever they are available in the Google Play Store. For gaming, well, we discovered a long time ago back when the Zidoo X9S was introduced that the Realtek 1295 is not the absolute best for gaming. So I played Asphalt 8 and, well, even though it didn't play that bad, I've seen that game being played much better in the past. But I'm gonna let you watch for a couple of seconds so you can see for yourself. And moving on to multitasking. So multitasking also works great, but keep in mind that we only have 2 gigs of RAM, so you're gonna be able to keep some apps running in the background, but don't imagine you're gonna keep like 100 apps running in the background. But overall, multitasking seems to work quite good. Well, now that you've seen how this looks and you have a better idea about its performance, I wanna start recording the screen. I wanna play some video files so I can show you how this would perform for day-to-day usage. So we get the exact same launcher that we've seen for past Zidoo devices. I guess it's a good thing, but if you don't really like this launcher, you can always go and install another launcher from the Google Play Store. Now we have the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen, and this can hide and you can bring it back up. And we also have the notification tab on top. The settings app looks a bit different than anything that we've seen in the past. So here at network you can connect to the Wi-Fi or through a cable. At Bluetooth, of course, you can connect to any Bluetooth device, so headphones or a Bluetooth controller. Here at display you can change the screen resolution. So of course this will be different depending on the TV that you have connected. At LED brightness you can actually turn off that LED, that the display basically that we have on the TV box. At sounds, it really depends on what setup you have at home, if you have a surround sound system or not, but you can definitely change that. And moving to other here, you can change languages, and there are a lot of languages available, but I'm not gonna scroll through them because it's just gonna take way too long, but basically all the languages are available. And here at fan control you can actually turn on or off the device's fan. And since we are talking about that, no, even when it's on you can barely hear it. And if you're looking for even more settings, you can get here. So here we have a couple of options that we haven't exactly seen for other devices, mostly devices with the Logic S912, so that is one of them. And moving back here at playback, sorry, let me get back to playback here. Again, you have a couple of more options that again we don't see for other devices. And moving all the way to about TV box, here we can see the model name, which is the X10, the Android version, which is 6.0.1, and the latest security patch is coming from May 1st, 2016, so quite some time ago, and there are no updates at this particular time. Next, we are gonna check out some video files so we can see which one works good and which one doesn't. So of course I have my USB stick plugged in, and we're gonna start with the first one here. So let me just click on it. So most of the files that we're gonna try will work without any problems. So as you've seen, it did start right away. So we'll just skip forward a bit. This is the Kodi 16.1 that comes pre-installed. And as you've seen, this one works quite good. So we're gonna stop this one and we'll move back. And we'll move back once again. This is the next file that we are gonna try. I guess they're not in the regular order. So I'm just gonna skip all the way to the end here, as I always do. And this one seems to work good as well. So we're gonna stop this one and move to the next one. This is the next file that we're gonna try. And again, this one also works fairly good. So again, I'm gonna skip towards the end. And this one seems to do fine as well. We're gonna stop this one. This is a 4K file that was filmed with my phone, but this one works good as well. So we'll just let it play for a bit. So I'm gonna move back again. And I moved back a bit too much, I guess. This is our next file that I'm gonna try. And I've already tried this one and I know that it works good. So most files that we tried so far seem to work without any issues. So we'll stop this one and move to the next one. So this is a 60 frames per second 4K file. So let's see how well this one does. And it started and of course it does do fairly good. But let's skip towards the end here and see what happens if we skip towards the end. So yeah, no problems with this file either. So we're gonna stop this one and move to the next one. This is yet another 4K file at 50 frames per second. And of course this one also works good, but let's skip towards the end once again. So again, this one works good without any problems. And let's click back twice. And the next file, it's a 720p file. And we'll just skip all the way to the end. So as you've seen, this one also works good. But realistically, when you pay $220 something on a TV box, you kind of expect that everything works. And we might as well try this one and see if this one works. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see in a second. Can't play this video. So you will need the MX player to actually play that, but it will work with the MX player. So let's try this one as well. But of course, this one will also work good. So all the files except the same file that doesn't exactly work for any other TV box unless you use the MX player seem to work good without any issues. So there you have it, this is the Zidoo X10. Now, even though it works good and I haven't really had that many issues with it, I mean, I had a couple of times when the box kind of froze and I had to wait because I couldn't do anything. So aside from that, it did seem to work fairly good. But in reality, I don't see that many people that would actually use all the features of this device, mostly that HDMI in. I guess it's pretty cool to have the possibility of having an 8TB hard drive inside, but aside from that, I really don't know what you could use this and why you would buy this over a much cheaper device with the Amlogic S912. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.